Democratic Congressman Eric Swalwell is suspending his bid for California governor as he faces allegations of sexual assault. Top Democrats also pulled their support. This all came after allegations from a former staffer were published in the San Francisco Chronicle on Friday. Since then, other accusations have surfaced, including one under investigation by New York City prosecutors. In a video posted to X, Swalwell denied the claims and called them politically motivated, though he expressed regret for past mistakes regarding his family.
These allegations of sexual assault are flat false. They are absolutely false. They did not happen. They have never happened, and I will fight them with everything that I have. I do not suggest to you in any way that I'm perfect or that I'm a saint. I have certainly made mistakes in judgment in my past.
And these comments coming before he suspended his run for governor. I want to bring in CBS News California accountability correspondent Julie Watts. Julie, thanks for being here. Let's talk about these claims, including the one that's under investigation right now.
Yeah, Julia. So right now, we know at least 4 women have come forward with a variety of allegations of ranging from inappropriate behavior to sexual assault. Initially, a lot of folks inside the party were told me they were aware of inappropriate behavior, of some inappropriate photos, some Snapchats. But the allegations that were reported by the Chronicle on Friday were really eye-opening for a lot of folks who said they didn't know that these allegations would extend to sexual assault. And as you mentioned, one of those allegations was that it took place, the alleged assault took place in New York. And so now the Attorney General there is looking into these allegations.
So you've been covering the governor's race in California. What impact could this have on the Democratic Party and the race for governor?
Well, as you know, right now, the top 2 candidates in terms of polls have been 2 Republicans. In California, we have what's called a jungle primary. It's a sort of a top 2 primary. So the top 2 vote getters in the primary automatically advance to the general election, which means you could have 2 Republicans or 2 Democrats. Now, until now, there's been such a wide ranging field of Democrats that they've been splitting those votes. And so the top 2 have been Steve Hilton, who is a Fox News commentator, and Chad Bianco, who is a sheriff, a Riverside County sheriff. President Trump endorsed Hilton. And this week at the Republican convention, this weekend rather, they chose not to endorse anyone, meaning they could still see enough votes. And I think there's real concern among Democrats that you could see enough votes between those 2 to have a top 2 Republican general election. So that said, Eric Swalwell was the leading Democratic contender, polling it at aggregate around 15% of the vote. And then right below him, Steyer and Porter, Tom Steyer and Katie Porter, former Congresswoman, both at around 12%. And so now the question is, who gets that Swalwell support? Now, mind you, his name is still going to be on the ballot. There may still be people who vote for him because there's nothing that they can do to take it off right now. And, you know, Labor really supported Swalwell. Looks like, at least what we're hearing right now, is many of those labor organizations are going to move over to Steyer's camp, who frankly doesn't need their money. And so it's going to be really interesting to see sort of how this plays out. Can those other 2 candidates, or Matt Mahan, who is the San Jose mayor, sort of the moderate candidate in the race, he hasn't really picked up steam, but he got an influx of money over the weekend. He has a new team behind him. And I think a lot of folks are saying, listen, it's now or never. But there's a real concern that the Democrats could still split the vote and we could see a top 2 Republican general election.
I also want to get back to the Swalwell messaging. He said he is suspending his bid. Is that something different than he's dropping out?
It is. My understanding, based on what folks, inside these campaigns are telling me, is that if he is suspending his campaign, he can then use that money for his legal defense. So that is a really important distinction. Obviously, he is also being investigated in Congress right now for ethics violations. Keep in mind, there are rules against fraternizing with your own employees. So if Swalwell had allegations of inappropriate behavior with people who were not working for him, that might be illegal, but it wouldn't, and it probably would still be an ethics violation. But it's sort of a different level when you are having these relationships with your own employee. And so that's what is being investigated right now. And if he loses his job, well, that's his form of income, right? So suspending the campaign really could be key in terms of having that financial bucket to dip into if he needs it.
And then wider picture, are there other accountability issues if others knew there were allegations, which it seems they did, surrounding Swalwell in the past?
You know, I have been really pulling on that thread, Juliet, asking folks, listen, if you knew this, why are we just now finding out about this? And as I mentioned earlier, the folks I'm talking to say, listen, we knew that there may be some inappropriate behavior. We didn't know that it extended to criminal behavior, potentially, allegedly criminal behavior. But yes, I am told that there are people, top staffers for party leadership in D.C. who were aware of some of these allegations as far back as, say 2017. So I think there really is going to be a lot of finger pointing, a lot of who knew what and when, and certainly a bit of a reckoning, at least internally inside the party.
All right, Julie Watts. Julie, thank you. Now, the House Ethics Committee just opened an investigation into Swalwell, and with the House returning from break tomorrow, we're seeing a bipartisan push to expel Swalwell and Texas Republican Tony Gonzalez. A reminder, Gonzalez admitted to a sexual relationship with a former staffer who later died by suicide. So lawmakers like California Democrat Ro Khanna and New York Republican Mike Lawler expressed support to expel the two men. If successful, these would be the first expulsions in congressional history on grounds of sexual misconduct.